To advertise on The Edge, go to 961.com.au/advertise.
Back to the beats that move you in 10 seconds.
Heading off these holidays? Before you go, visit your local Goodyear Auto Care store for great tyre deals. Find your nearest dealer at goodyearautocare.com.au.
The Edge 96.1.
Good afternoon, peoples. It's your girl, K Sarah, with you. And, of course, Papa Frank in the building.
What is going on?
I couldn't do this without him.
Oh, you know.
So it's exciting times. We are definitely leveling up, and I'm going to see you through the last hour ever of The Edge.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. It's pretty exciting. I can't wait for you guys to see what we have in store for you. Leveling up is the key to all of this, and that is exactly what we are doing. But for the next hour, we are just going to relive some of the bigger moments that I've experienced at The Edge, because I've actually been here for the entirety of The Edge.
Yeah.
Since The Edge, we actually started as an alternate rock station. So I've seen this happen before, a format change. We've had a couple of format changes, but this one is a super big one, and it's not just a format change. It's a new way of experiencing radio.
100%.
So we are super excited to get down to 4 p.m. when everything will be revealed. But right now, we are going to get back into the music and stick around so we can take a little trip down memory lane. And also explore some of the artists that have gone on to have incredible careers, not just in the music industry, but behind the scenes as well. Some of the artists that we first broke, because we have been committed to Australian artists for the entirety of the life of The Edge.
100%.
We are just taking it up a notch. So here is Junior Choi now. You're listening to K Sarah and Papa Frank on The Edge.
The Edge 96.1. The home of dance and R&B.
Beats that move you.
K Sarah and Papa Frank,
What's going
winding
on?
down The Edge for the very last hour with you this afternoon. Thank you so much for your company. I wanted to touch base on the fact that, as I said earlier in the show, or earlier in this hour, that this is not the first time we've had a format change at
we've
this
done this
radio
before.
station. Yes, I've done it a couple of times before, but the last big change was after we had trialled the Dirty Dozen in 2005. And then in 2006, we launched as the first hip-hop and R&B radio station. And I think at that time, we were probably a little ahead of our time.
Just a little.
Yes. I take that I take that as a badge of honour that we were ahead of our time.
But you paved the road, so.
But when I first changed, obviously I had spent my career here at The Edge. I've done every job here. I worked in the cars handing out packets of chips and Coke for years. I did mid-dawns. I did Saturday mornings. I did the promotions manager's job. I've done the music director's job.
I think it'd be fair to say that you've done almost every single hour that The Edge has possibly.
Correct.
Yeah.
I have. And we were, of course, out at Prospect then. So I would drive all the way from Bondi to Prospect, get in the car, drive all over Sydney, stay back, do a mid-dawn, drive home, drive all the way. I mean, I just spent a lot of time in cars. But the point I wanted to get to was when I first changed, at that time they were calling me Cyclone on air.
Yeah. Oh, my
But my MC name, for people who don't know, I was in a rap crew called Bad Rep back in the day. I've always been an MC. When we first launched, I performed. That will not be happening again. Basically, I was not a very good MC, which is why I laid down my mic and I thought, how could I best serve the culture? And doing that was infiltrating radio because, of course, a lot of the people back then needed somebody my skin tone
100%.
with my ability to infiltrate to make people see the value in hip hop.
100%.
But the first day that I changed from Cyclone to K Sarah on air, whereas many people had known me as K Sarah in the scene, but of course 2GB, it was, I think, must have been out of ratings times because Jason Morrison was on filling in for Ray Hadley on 2GB, and he did a whole morning show on me. So people started ringing me going, they are playing snippets of your interview with Savage and saying that you are, who do they think you are, bringing this gang culture to Australia, and all these or other, a lot of people chiming in going, it's absolute rubbish. I mean, there was radio stations playing positioners saying no rap crap as if it was a bonus at that point. I mean, that's where we were back then. So I ended up so we launched the radio station. We had this whole, which was wonderful publicity for us, by the way. So we launched the radio station in 2006 as Hip Hop and R&B, and we chopped up 2GB and the stuff that they were doing at 2GB, and we called it The Edge versus 2GB, and I'm going to play that for you now. This is how we launched the last time. We're a hip-hop and R&B radio station. This time, let me tell you, it is something else.
Look, we don't normally go into the practice of bagging other radio stations because we don't care about other radio stations, but I got to share this with you. Someone called me, a lady who's a parent, rang me and said, I've just found my kids listening to this station. You got to tune onto it. It's a station called The Edge.
I got 96 problems, but
The Edge.
Chain one hit me.
It's about sort of rap and R&B, a rap station. Sort of this ghetto radio station.
96.1.
Let's get some shout-outs happening, guys. Holla now. Any MCs out there? Any taggers?
What language is this? What are they talking
I got
about?
96 problems, but
The Edge.
Chain one hit me.
Yo, dude. Yo, doggy. You do wonder why we have a little bit of a gangster culture at times. The homies, the dogs, whatever the hell it is. What rubbish. I sure as hell won't be listening.
I got 96 problems, but
The Edge.
Chain one hit me.
But I think it's important to know that this sort of stuff is out there. Starts to explain a little bit of the culture, doesn't it?
Hey, look, I just want to respond to that, what I just heard, what that nutty rubbish that I heard a couple of minutes ago. To me, it just sounds very Michael Jackson-style nutbag, like, you know.
I got 96 problems, but
The Edge.
Chain one hit me.
But, you know, baseball caps on backwards, baggy shorts, people with their undies hanging out, the whole thing.
As far as the drive-by shootings, like stabbing people and then driving by and shooting up houses.
96 problems, but
The Edge.
Chain one hit me.
Thanks for your call, Mike. Thanks for getting my point.
No
Yeah,
worries.
thank you, because a lot of people have missed it. I don't bag the station that can do its own thing, but I just think it's important that we know this stuff's going on. This is 2GB.
I got 96 problems, but
The Edge.
Chain one hit me.
96 point something or other on the FM band. Don't go there, because you won't like it.
That makes me laugh. And of course, the end of that story is this: that after they did that morning show on me, I wrote to Jason Morrison at 2GB, and I wrote in this letter about understanding what we do as hip-hop, the empathy that it evokes, the importance of hearing our own Australian and New Zealand poets. And I simplified it by saying, just like your parents wouldn't have understood when Elvis said, don't step on your blue suede shoes, I sent him a CD of Weapon X and Ken Hell's Sneaker Pimpin' Ain't Easy. And it's just like you won't understand Sneaker Pimpin' Ain't Easy. So I thought, so anyway, and I spoke to Jason Morrison this morning.
How did you go?
Since then, we've actually become quite good friends.
Oh, so
he
good.
is I'm a huge fan of my father, who was an ex-broadcaster from many years ago, a sports broadcaster. And he said to me today he will be listening in.
Aww.
So I just want to thank him, obviously, for the communication over the years and for putting us on the map with 2GB. And if 2GB are listening and thinking of doing it again, hey, we love all the free publicity. So knock yourself out.
Run it up.
Yeah, right now. Here's his Weapon X and Ken Hell. And just to remind you guys that we have always supported Australian artists and Australian hip-hop artists. And these were, I think Weapon X and Ken Hell were actually performed at the last time we relaunched the station. So this is Sneaker Pimpin' Ain't Easy. I've got some other incredible hip-hop artists, Australian hip-hop artists that we supported throughout the years who've gone on to be absolute game changers within the industry. So stick around for that. But right now, let's get into this one. Sneaker Pimpin' Ain't Easy.
Make some noise! The Edge 96.1. iHeartRadio.
Tell your smart speaker to play The Edge on iHeartRadio.
You are on the edge, people. Not long now before it'll be the last time I am saying that. We are definitely on the downslide now to sounding off this incredible new way of life, incredible new movement that is coming at 4 p.m. But before we do that, I just wanted to check in with some of the artists that we were heavily supporting back in the day who've gone on to do incredible things in the industry. So I have Mo Comby on the line now. My dear friend Mo, how you doing, bro?
Yo, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Now, of course,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, it's auspicious occasion. It's
Yes.
We're about to turn off the Edge and turn on CADA, and it's going to be very exciting. But I just wanted to remind people that we have always been very focused on supporting Australian hip hop artists, and one of those artists that we were supportive of back in the day was, of course, EDGE96, which was the incredible crew that you were a part of. That you just had a big anniversary, a 10-year anniversary. What was that for?
Yeah, it was the anniversary of our last album, which was Pocket Full of Dreams. Huge. It just crept up. I had no idea until I received the text message. But, our first album, Concrete Jungle, was where everything seeded from. And real quickly, I just want to thank you because, you supported us from, right at the start, from our first EP all the way through to our first album to, our last album. Thank you so much for the support over the years and also what you've done for the wider community as well. It's been amazing to watch.
Oh, thank you, bro. I want to get you in, of course, Que Sera. We'll be talking about the new shows. I have a new show coming, and you'll be hearing more from Mo on that show as we delve into the crates and talk a little bit about EDGE96 and the movement back then. But right now, I just want to I want to get into this track, but I want to just let people know that from EDGE96, you have now gone on to be an ARIA award-winning producer. Congratulations. And you are also now one of the head A&R at Warner. Is that correct? Is that your official title there?
Yeah. I'm one of the senior A&Rs at Warner, and I also run my own record label called Say Less.
There we go.
It's been a great journey so far.
So just wonderful to see those artists from back in the day continuing to make moves within the industry, be game changers, take everything up to a new level. And I can't wait to get into this a little further in the next week or so on my new show, which you're going to hear about a little later in the program because we're going right through till 8 p.m. tonight, peeps. But right now, let's remind people how incredible EDGE96 are, or were, as the case may be. This is Concrete Jungle. Mo, congratulations on all your successes, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you so much.
This
Cheers.
is EDGE96, people. Let's get it.
Voice of struggle.
The Edge.
96.1.
We are sounding off the last hour of The Edge. And right now we're going to get into a track from an artist who I put on the radio for the very first time ever in his career, and he's gone on to become the giantest superstar on the planet.
It's nuts.
Flying our Australian flag so proudly, and also First Nations, which we absolutely love. He's the incredible Kid Leroy, my little nephew. And here he is teaming up with Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, of course, has been a huge staple of The Edge for many years as well. Let's get into this track. Not long now, not long left of The Edge, and exciting things to come, so stick with us. The sort of songs you're going to hear more of, Joey Badass and Head High there on The Edge. We are sounding off the last hour until we change over to our new incredible brand, station and way of life. But of course, we are just reminiscing on some of the big songs, big hits of The Edge era. Mm-hmm. And of course, Papa Frank, a little younger than me, you would have been listening to The Edge since you were a kid.
Since I was a kid.
I want to shout out to everybody who's been listening to me since I was a kid.
To be on this show with you is it's a bit surreal because obviously I grew up listening to you, so But I've been listening to apparently I've been listening since 2007 because one of my favourite songs was "Beautiful Girls" by Sean Kingston, and that was on a So Fresh CD.
Oh, we used to give a lot of those So Fresh CDs away.
And that was the first year I started listening because I'd burn the CD and then I'd come and listen to the station, and then. Well, I thought it was 2013, but I've realised how old I am. It was 2007, which is freaking ages ago.
Which would have been just after we would have been playing hip hop and R&B in 2007.
Yeah, just.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, I think maybe we should get into that. It was a big track on The Edge.
It was a massive track.
It was a very big track on The Edge.
I got to do a tour with Sean Kingston as well, so
look at you,
I'm definitely getting
leveling up. We're all leveling up, peeps. All right, let's get into this one. We got some more big hits of The Edge as we say a fond farewell and welcome on the new way of life here at 96.1.
The Edge 96.1.
Beats that move you.
On the edge, on the edge, on the edge, on the edge.
On the edge.
Saying it for the very last time. For the very last time. This is Que Sera on the Edge. Before I go, I wanted to make mention of Snob Skrilla as well. Sean Mullins, of course, Snob Skrilla was another Australian artist that we supported way back when, who has gone on to do incredible things and now is working with Def Jam and Universal Music. So shout out to him and Snob Skrilla. I was going to play the track, but we seem to have run out of time.
This is going to be our very last sign-off on the Edge,
This is our very last sign-off on the Edge. This is the very last time you are going to hear anybody speaking on the Edge. Thanks, Papa Frank, for sticking around with me this afternoon, helping me get through. Bit emotional, but very excited.
I'm down for the cause.
Down for the cause.
I'm down for the cause.
Down for the cause. Yep, we are all straight up, no chaser around here.
It doesn't feel real.
I know, it doesn't. But anyway, we are about to hit the switch, and we're about to shut down the Edge. So, should I be sad? I'm excited.
No, thank you everyone for listening all these years.
Thank you all the Edge supporters. But wait, what we've got for you is
something really
just
special.
Taking it up to the next level.
Yeah.
It is all going to be explained in the next 4 hours or so. We have got so many incredible artists and new talent and everybody that's involved. You are going to get to know them over the next 4 hours. So please stick around. I will be back explaining what my new role is going to be here and how Papa Frank is going to be involved. And anyway, it's going to be an afternoon of celebration. So I hope you stick around for us. And for the very last time, this is Que Sera, and you are listening to The Edge. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of magic.